Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Breezy from Sandra Schubert. All right. So I'll do a disclaimer. Part of me was thinking, gosh, maybe I should have saved this one for my Tough Tangle Tuesday session. But, you know, I had already done a lot. I'm like, no. I want to do this one, committing to it, doing it. It's not so bad. It's just I found a little confusing sort of just in the start. So hopefully I will make that clear or smooth out any of the, the bumpiness. It starts off, it's a grid pattern, but not like a normal type grid pattern. We're going to leave the ends open. We're going to leave the ends open. Although, as I'm looking at it, you might be able to do just a regular grid, but you decide. All right, so I'm going to start just a little ways down here and try to get these in the middle. Mine, looking at my step out, I'm here to prove it doesn't have to be if you don't have your lines straight or things, it can still work out pretty good. And we make of it what we make of it, and it's all good. Now, I did take some liberty and changed up, or just clarified. I don't say changed up. I changed up the order of doing this because I don't know. I thought it was helpful for me. So, all right. So once you have your grid done, then, okay, saving my thought for the end. Okay. We're going to put, make little T's on the tops. So, and I'm going to go down these lines first. Then in the middle, and not too far out on either side. It looks like that one. I didn't go down far enough. Trying to make them even so that way I get a nice pattern, but, if it doesn't end up, then it's just whimsical and it's all good. There's some that you could probably course correct in your decorations. And I say that so that way to alleviate any worries of don't worry about it. It's not alleviating worries. I want to exterminate worries. All right, and then turn your tile or your paper, do the same thing. So on the very ends, in the middles, in between your grids, because you might be wanting to do this on a larger scale. Okay. Then, and it doesn't matter which direction you start. So looking at it this way, I'm going to go on the right side, of this T. I'm just going to focus on just that part that's showing right there above my fingers. So on this right side at the end, I'm going to make a straight line to the center. Okay. And actually, it might be plenty easy to just do that on all of those tops. And so this becomes a top too, this here in the middle. Like that. Then turn. I'm feeling like I was missing one, but maybe not, because I did it a bunch of different ways. No, this is, yeah. And then turn. So that way it's always the same side and you're always doing the same stroke, and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to look in. You hopefully don't look. It's almost like I feel like, don't look when you're, climbing a mountain or something, or you're on something, on something tall. Don't look down. Just don't look down. Don't look at everything else. Just, focus. Turn your toe. Oh, here's the empty, T, and I'm going to go on the right side and make a straight line to the center. And that's just the only thing that you need to think about. Okay. Well, and as I say that, I'm like, well, that's not even. Oh, well, it's okay. All right. So in Sandra's, she had doing this part, just this half, and then coming back later and adding this, and I just thought, well, it might be more efficient just to put that line there and leave it at that. And then you don't have to come back and do it again. All right. Then, yes. I'm like, that now? Yes. Let's see. I feel like I'm missing something. Because I'm looking at her step out, not mine. I was like, no, this is good. She divided out putting these little orbs in. So at the ends, every end, even the ones that are empty, we're just going to put little orbs. And I'm trying to center them on there. So I'm starting on the line and making that my orb. It's one of those, it doesn't matter. It'll all work out good in the end. All right. Oh, I did some of them bigger. I'm thinking, bigger might work nice as well. Of course, play with the dimensions because that's fun. And then during the next step or two, at least the next step, you will find, like I usually do, where I might have missed one, and it's all good. Okay. So next, we're going to connect these corners. Yes. So just kind of going around. It'll look like what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, an octagon. And one thing that I have been trying to pay attention to do in this, does that even make sense? One of the things I've been trying to pay attention to while doing this step in particular, is trying to keep in mind this line as if it's hollowed out underneath that orb. Now, one course correction, or one thing that that would make it so you don't have to worry about it, is if when we're done and you're decorating, you just fill in those orbs and it's all good. So, trying the best I can. If I had aimed that one in a little bit, then it would look like a continuous octagon. But then sometimes when you get them all weirdly shaped like this, that kind of blows that theory out of the water. And then we just say, oh, it's just whimsical. It's just interesting. It's all good. It's a pattern. It's non-representational. It is what we make of it. Okay. I think I might be filling in those dots. We'll just see. Well, maybe not, because, well, let's see. Ooh, because I kind of like what she did, and I might do it differently than I did in my step out. That way there's a little bit of a difference. Okay. Oops. One more step. So we have this, and yep, it looks like a right mess, and that's okay. We're going to connect these other dots in these gaps. Although, I'm just like all tangles, right? We kind of have a choice if we want to leave out a step, do something a little different, go rogue, as we like to say on our calls. And then also in the center, so we're going to connect those dots. And then also on this outside, there's no dot for this to connect to. It's almost like it's like half of this, right? So it would, if you're doing a bigger grid, it would have been going, all the way, extending all the way across, just like this. So we'll just do that half, and it's good. It's good. So here is what's interesting. We have all of these neat little spaces now that we can choose to put patterns in, to fill in, and yeah. Well, yep, those are the only two options. So I'm thinking I want to try it differently. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, because I liked this. Okay, so on my version of the step out, and actually, in Sandra, she did it one way where she filled in all of these little slivers, and then alternated the these other sections, and it has a really neat look. But I also like how she did, let's see, okay, this. So she did these bigger sections. So I'm going to do that. One thing you could do, and let's see, she just did straight lines. Okay, so let's do that. And I'm going to make them nice and light, like that. Ooh, and then it's going to totally, oh, that's what she did. Okay, I'm going to do all of that side, because what she did is we're auraing, this is that initial line right there, because she changed directions, and all of a sudden I thought, well, wait, how did she decide which direction to, how to change whatever direction? Actually, you know what? I can do the bottom one too, because that's on that straight line also. Now, if you like the way this looks, you could pick any of the lines that you want to just, aura to make your straight line. But you can also put orbs in there. You could fill whatever kind of tangle you might want to fill in there. You can. Oops, and let's get this one also. And what's interesting about this, and as I was playing with it, I totally, I did the thing that where I jumped ahead, and I'm like, oh, and I made an assumption, and apparently I wasn't looking close enough until I got all the way done. I'm like, wait, how is it that we have this kind of, this section is bigger than this sliver? I was connecting this dot to the center also. And it's like, oh, no, we don't do that. That's how we end up with this neat kind of off-center type of thing. And I share that because if you end up with something similar, just kind of take a look at it. It's, this one side we're not doing. We're only doing that one side. See, and then this way I can also enlarge those orbs if I want to. And always, you know what, I'm going to see if I can, let's just add there. If I could just make it to the line. Let's see if I can add in. Okay. That works. I had him a little bit too far apart for what I was thinking. Okay, now let's get this side. Ooh, and then I could shade those too. Maybe. Look at how, okay. Just make it to the line. That helps. I have the, fear of going over the line. And so sometimes then the pen is shy. And it's like, well, but I don't want to go over. So I'll play it safe. Or something. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. So, oops, one section. So what's interesting is filling in, all of a sudden, I'm not seeing what I saw before, which I wasn't really happy with. And I share that because so many times we hear this on our calls and in the chat. Oh, this is turning out horridly. And you might think, oh yeah, really, Heather, yes, that does look horrible. But it that's okay. People can think that. Well, you know what? Let me do this. I'm going to do the dots because I'm almost thinking could do that and fill in also if I wanted to, because that would make a neat division on those. But I'm going to fill in the dots because I like that idea. I am going to fill them in. Well, maybe I can leave a little opening. But when you fill in the dots, you can also make them just a little bit bigger if you wish. And then maybe with some shading with the graphite, we can have a little more differentiation from the sections and the sections that I put the lines in and the sections that we didn't. And one thing that I've noticed with doing Zentangle is that if you add some points of contrast like this, then it gives your eyes something to go to, and it helps. And that did. It did a bit. Now, here I think I'm looking at Sandra's stuff. I really don't see shading, but I feel the need to. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm putting it on the original line. Since I've done that one, I'll do this one too. But I'm going to bring it into the area that's textured. Because it says Breezy, and of course, did I read the story? No. But as I'm just taking a quick glance, it says where she's talking about it. It says in the beginning it's shaped like small wind wheels, so I named it the pattern Breezy. So you can have fun with that. But I'm thinking, and let's get the other side too. Same idea, and I might need to add a little bit more. To kind of help give it that motion. Putting the graphite on just the one side. We'll see. Might need to go a little darker. A little bit. Let's try this. We don't want the graphite remorse. I know I'm missing some, but... Or I'm not. Nope. Because there's just 4. Oh, I like that better. A little bit. It is looking a little dark, but let's just get it all on there. Oh, that's the one I missed. Like I hit one and then did the tortillon and then oh wait, there it is. And then decided to do the others. Oh, and I have this one side. Oh, see, look at that. I was getting a little nervous. And I don't like to do, unless it's enormously disastrous, I like to do these just, one take, whatever happens, happens, because that is what Zentangle is about. Okay. And so, not really graphite remorse because, so even if you just have that, see that little patch of, original tile color in there, it gives it, we'll say it's more puffiness than it is motion, I think. But it's interesting, and I like it. And I'm no longer seeing, and like I said, take a look at that description link. The link in the description. Sorry, I'm backwards. Because there are a lot more other interesting ways to fill it in, and I'm sure you will come up with other great ideas as well. And that's just a heck of a lot of fun. I'm almost thinking I'm going to try one thing. This is a colorless blender from Prismacolor. And one of the things that we found out from a good friend is that you don't have to just use it on colored pencils. See how it's making that darker? I'm just using whatever the graphite is there, and I just wanted to emphasize without adding more graphite. See how it's doing that? Let's do it down here. I just wanted it at the edge. Oops. Did I get all of them? I think I did. Yep. Okay. All right. It is an interesting pattern, that is for sure. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click like. And if you liked it enough to see more, please click on the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. I mentioned the description section already several times, so you'll find the links to the step outs there. I'm just going to continue to play just a little bit. You'll find the links there, as well as ways to connect with me. So if you liked it enough to see more, and maybe you want to take some classes, I mentioned Tough Tangle Tuesday. That's where we would take something like this. I just present it. I show all the samples that are available from the originator of the Tangle. And then we just go to town and have fun, and it's a great time. So would love to have you join us. So information on that is on my website, also on my Facebook page, so I have a link for that there, as well as our Facebook community. So if you want to hang out with a bunch of amazing tanglers, just amazing people and amazing tanglers, you could join us there. Know that there are 3 questions that you have to answer in order to gain entry. And that's it. And, like I said, you'll see the classes on my website. With that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.